What's this then? It's a blowpipe. Oh, it's been made by George Finnamore, who's joins me at the table here, who's just nearly completed a degree in model making. And he approached us a year or two ago asking whether things that we could suggest, which I wanted really from my toy collection, which would help with his degree. And I suggested as a start this thing here where they called it a blow-go, and it needs a bit of explanation. George, what was the idea of this piece?
So the idea behind it is that you blow in through this way,
Yep.
and you have a small polystyrene ball that comes up here and hovers on the column of air, and then as it comes up it gets sucked in and round.
Oh, yeah, lovely. And does a cycle. Yes.
And does a cycle, and so you're supposed to see how many times you can get it to do the cycle in one breath.
That's very close to the diagram of that rather scrappy bit of paper I sent you, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was my first model, which is just made out of a piece of copper pipe and a small piece of glass pipe soldered together.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it didn't work. It was very tricky to make it work.
Yeah, pretty.
So what I did in order to try and make it work was I moved on onto this. This is one of my next ones. I put it into a computer program and modelled it up, and then milled it out on a CNC mill. And you can see that I added on a small hood over the front to make it slightly easier.
It's two halves of plastic all
so
together with a air channel.
Exactly.
Go round, yeah.
I did have it hooked up to a compressor and had it just at the right amount of air to make it go round and round and round, so it does work.
And it's stable. They did complete many cycles along
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
But doing it with your breath is slightly different.
It needs a lot of skill, I should think.
Well, I'll give it a go. I've had some practice, and I'll give it a go, but I can't promise anything.
Yeah. I like things which require practice and dedication. Oh, nearly. Have some more polystyrene balls. We've got lots of them here. It's interesting. You start at the top of the passage, don't you?
Yeah.
Nearly one cycle there. Yep. That's very close.
Almost.
Not quite still.
Not quite. Not all the way in.
I love it though. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a really good challenge for me to make this darn thing work.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's a lot of practice.
Yeah, but I love it. We'll definitely have to have a go with that, because I've seen it for about 3 or 4 years. I've had it in my collection, just a little scrappy bit of paper. Lovely. So what else did we suggest at the time that you could do in the way of prototypes?
And then this is the next project.
For your degree.
It works by using magnets to repel each other. It's 2 discs with 3 magnets each, and they're separate. And so the way they turn is by interacting with each other.
Yeah, I see.
They're both also hovering on
oh, lovely, little magnetic bearings.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And so when they spin round,
and that reduces the friction a lot, doesn't it? It reduces the friction. That's very nice. And they quiver, and goodness me, they almost like gear wheels, and then they don't. They behave quite chaotically, which is fantastic.
Very fascinating to watch it.
Wow. And did you take that further?
Yes, I did. So that, once I got that to work, I moved on to this one.
Beautiful. It's a big step up from those two. My goodness, that's a lot more work.
Well, it's the same principle, similar materials. The first one was made out of clear acrylic.
And magnetic bearings too. Gosh, it's beautiful. So there's a spring there, but it's not. It's the magnets pushing it up.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you spin it, it also...
Yeah, that's lovely. And then spin that the other way and it'll interfere with it magnetically. I did wonder at the time when I first saw this whether you had a bunch of them together, whether they'd interact with each other. Would that work?
Yeah, well, let's see. Let's put the prototype and the finished one in together. And there you go, have a go.
Oh, yes, that's nice. So I'm turning this one here, and that far one in the far corner's responding. Almost like a little gear train, but not quite, because they're all quivering like mad. A crazy gear train. That's beautiful. Beautiful job. That's a really, really nice piece of work there. That's lovely. You. Wow. So what's the third of the 3 projects I gave you?
This is the last. This was the sketch model I made to make you a miner's lung tester.
Okay.
So I again...
how hard to make this twirl round, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah, I see.
And so I put this into a computer program as well and
Yeah.
3D printed it. And this was the result. And unfortunately, this one doesn't work.
No, I see, okay.
A bit too tight tolerances, I think.
Looks very elegant, though.
Thank you. So I redesigned it again
Yeah.
and came up with this one, which is more similar to the original
Good
design.
grief. That's a huge step up.
Exactly. I
Is it
decided that
metal?
metal would be a
Beautiful.
much better idea.
And brass, is it?
Yeah, and
Superb.
silver soldered joints.
And a little chamber here. It's beautiful.
There we go. Would you like to have a
Well,
go?
I'd love to have a go, yes. I've just so to test my lungs and make this swirl around if I've got a good bit of breath in my lungs. Just have a go. Just, I blow hard.
Blow hard, really hard.
Oh, ho, 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 ho.
Sorry, Tim.
That's magnificent, but yes, well done.